On this episode of This Week in the Open Mic Universe, we're looking back at week 1 of March, coming out of Elimination Chamber, headed towards WrestleMania. And we kick things off here on Raw, where the woman who had a fantastic night at Elimination Chamber, Becky Lynch, the winner of the women's Elimination Chamber match, would get things started for us here against Zoe Stark. Becky, by winning the Elimination Chamber, punched her ticket to WrestleMania, where she will meet the WWE Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. And after taking care of Zoe in this one, she would find herself face-to-face with her WrestleMania opponent, the EST, getting a front row, up-close personal look at her WrestleMania opponent. And this one, I think, is going to be one hell of a match at WrestleMania. Then we saw Seth freaking Rollins in action as he took on Baron Corbin. With WrestleMania right around the corner, there's not really a clear path as to where Seth Rollins fits into the WrestleMania picture, but I'm sure over the next couple weeks, the architect will find a way to get himself on that WrestleMania card. Then we saw Piper Niven taking on Bayley. Piper, who had a great showing in the women's Elimination Chamber match, coming so close as she was the final woman eliminated by Becky Lynch. But here in this one, had her hands full with Bayley, and unfortunately for her, Bayley was able to get the 3 count and get the victory. I got to think that there's a very good possibility we are going to see both of these women in the China Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Then we saw Imperium, who coming off of the months-long battle that they've had with the Street Profits coming to an end at Elimination Chamber. And it looks like it doesn't get any easier from here as the Usos looking to call out the champs, looking to set up an opportunity for themselves at WrestleMania. These two great tag teams, I think, would be a marquee match at WrestleMania. And then we saw Damian Priest in action taking on Carmelo Hayes. Hits Hayes here with the Razor's Edge. And normally when he hits that Razor's Edge, you know the match is over, and it was in this one as Damian Priest picks up the win. And then our European champion, Kevin Owens, was in action taking on Butch. These two, probably two of the toughest guys on any roster. Kevin Owens, though, hits the stunner, gets the 1, 2, 3. And after the match, as he looks to celebrate with his European championship, that celebration would be cut short by Gunther, who would attack Kevin from behind. And to make matters worse, to add insult to injury, Gunther would use that European championship to do further damage to KO. You got to think after this attack, Gunther not only got the attention of Kevin Owens, but also the WWE officials in the back. Then in our main event, we saw the new Intercontinental Champion, Solo Sikoa, in action as he took on Obafemi. Solo hits Obo with the Samoan Spike, gets the 3. And then after the match, he would hear Randy Orton's music hit. And as he looked up at the stage, expecting to see the Viper make an appearance, Randy does what Randy does best, and he would attack from behind through the crowd. Randy Orton will be Solo Sikoa's first challenger, and they'll meet at WrestleMania. And then it was time for Nitro, where we got a surprise guest, a guest that we have not seen since SummerSlam, and that was the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Lesnar, who was suspended at SummerSlam after a physical altercation backstage with WWE officials. Not only was he suspended indefinitely, but he was also stripped of his Money in the Bank briefcase, a briefcase that was then won by Bobby Roode. And then we had the first of 4 tag team qualifying matches on the week on the WCW shows, with the winner of the overall tag tournament, going on to WrestleMania to get an opportunity against the WCW Tag Team Champions, the New Day. First of the 4 tournament matches was between the Creed brothers and the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day, the team that the New Day defeated to win the Tag Team Championships at Elimination Chamber. These two teams would set the tone for the tournament as they beat the hell out of each other. We saw a lot of near falls going back and forth between the two. But in the end, Brutus and Julius would get the victory and move on to the next round. The Creeds have not won championship gold here in the open mic universe. Will that change if they're able to make it all the way through to the end and get that opportunity against the New Day? Then we saw the WCW television champion Dragon Lee get attacked by Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, another competitor looking to get their spot for WrestleMania solidified, and Austin Theory able to capitalize on the attack by Nakamura as he picked up the win. And then Michin took on Charlotte Flair. Both of these ladies at the current moment, not with any WrestleMania plans, but again, kind of like Bayley and Piper Niven, you got to think that these two ladies have a great shot to find themselves in the China Memorial Battle Royal. Battle Royal that last year was won by Jade Cargill, the first time that we did it. Charlotte would get the victory here on Nitro. And then Drew McIntyre coming off a victory against Ken Shamrock at Elimination Chamber, taking on Ridge Holland. Drew kind of doing the opposite of the champion challenger thing. Laid out an open challenge. He wanted to know who was man enough to step up and challenge him for his WCW United States Championship at WrestleMania. And Bronson Reed would answer that challenge, as it will be Bronson Reed taking on Drew McIntyre for the WCW United States Championship at WrestleMania. And then in our main event, it would be our second tag team tournament qualifier, the Viking Raiders taking on Country Strong Style. Both of these teams, former tag champs. The Viking Raiders, former WCW tag team champions. Braun Strowman and Cameron Grimes, Country Strong Style, former one-time WWE tag team champions. Both of these teams kind of in a little bit of a rut as of late, and both looking to try to capitalize on the opportunity that's in front of them. We saw a lot of back and forth between the two teams, but in the end, Eric and Ivar would be victorious as they move on in the tournament. Ivar here getting the 3 count on Braun Strowman, and the tournament's halfway done. The other 2 qualifiers coming up here on Thunder, our second WCW show of the week, and we started off hot with the WCW World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles in action. He would be taking on Karrion Kross. AJ, who had a close eye on Elimination Chamber, as he would find out who his opponent for WrestleMania would be, and it would be that man there, Despicable Rey Mysterio. Rey, winner of the men's chamber match, decided to come out and get a close look at AJ and distract him in the process. But in the end, the phenomenal AJ Styles would hit the Styles Clash, get the 3 count, and overcome not only Karrion Kross, but the distraction from his WrestleMania opponent. And then we had our next tag tournament qualifier, the Brawling Brutes taking on the team formerly known as the LWO. They're not in the LWO anymore. We haven't really gotten a new team name for them. I guess they're just Wild and Del Toro and Wild. But we see Sheamus here not limiting his attacks to just one. He's going after both guys at the same time. Sheamus, a former 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Ridge looking for his first opportunity at a championship here in the open mic universe. LWO, former WCW tag champs, or the team formerly known as the LWO. We would see the Brutes here, the Brawling Brutes, working very well together using the advantage of the tag team double team. Sheamus almost getting a 3 count there, but Ridge would take care of him just a little while longer, getting the 3 count here as the Brawling Brutes move on, and they join the Viking Raiders and the Creed brothers in the second round of the tag tournament. Then we saw Shotzi in action as she would pick up a victory against Tiffany Stratton. Kind of an upset, but big win for Shotzi here on Thunder. And then we would see Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker in action, taking on Jinder Mahal. Braun not too happy that he's going into WrestleMania not in a world title match, and he would take out some of that aggression on Jinder Mahal. Poor Jinder here, forced to tap as Braun Breaker victorious here. And then another appearance by the Beast as he would show up here on Thunder and attack not only Truth, but also Grayson Waller. We are not really sure what all this means. Brock, a WWE superstar, but now 2 appearances in 1 week here in WCW. And little spoiler, it's not the last time we would see Brock Lesnar on the week. Chelsea Green getting a victory here against Liv Morgan. Big victory for her here on Thunder. And then our final first round tournament qualifier, it would be AOP taking on the OC. The OC, former 3-time WCW tag team champions. AOP still looking for their first tag team championship. And we would see a real kind of down the middle back and forth match. We saw a lot of good stuff from the OC, a lot of good stuff from AOP. Both teams really bringing it in this one. Again, I know I keep saying it with these tag matches, but I really think that these tag matches have really delivered. These tag teams have really stepped up here as of late. And here we see Gallows and Anderson working together, and that would be just about all that they would need to get the 3 count. As the OC moves on, they join the Viking Raiders, the Brawling Brutes, and the Creeds in round 2. Then we saw Dirty Dom come out and attack Santos Escobar. Their feud is not finished by any means, and they will meet again at WrestleMania. And it was time for our final show of the week, SmackDown, and we kicked it off with the Royal Rumble winner, LA Knight, the man who at Elimination Chamber lost his Intercontinental title to Solo Sikoa. But you know he's got his sights set on that main event of WrestleMania where he will take on the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This one, he would do battle with Damian Priest. Priest, who got a victory on Raw against Carmelo Hayes. But LA Knight is no Carmelo Hayes, and Knight proved it here as he would eventually hit the BFT and get the victory. Right after this, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but here it is. LA Knight with the BFT connects, hooks the leg, and usually you know that means the end of the night for LA Knight as he would pick up the victory. And then we got a little surprise appearance there from the World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns, making an appearance on the stage. Again, you know, just to kind of troll LA Knight, but Knight wanting Reigns to get in the ring, but he wouldn't. Then we saw Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler, and Shayna really delivering some heavy shots there to Jade. Jade would respond, but in the end, Shayna would be the one to get the 1-2-3 and the victory. Shayna Baszler victorious here on SmackDown. And then again, another attack by Brock Lesnar, this time on the WWE brand, as he does it here on SmackDown, attacking Tyler Bate. This has got to get cleared up at some point. And then we saw the man that's going on to take on Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, Randy Orton, in action. He would meet Ludwig Kaiser one-on-one. Kaiser, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. And we got our typical Randy Orton. He hit all the greatest hits in this one, especially that RKO. He would go and get the 1-2-3, get the victory here, and try to get that momentum built up as he heads towards WrestleMania. And then we had kind of a special matchup between the WWE Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, and the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Asuka. Asuka, who chose to challenge Rhea Ripley for the WCW Women's Championship instead of Bianca. But this is a match that we could have seen at WrestleMania, but Asuka chose a different path. And from what we saw here on SmackDown, I think this would have been a hell of a match at WrestleMania. These two really took it to each other. But in the end, Bianca Belair would get the victory. But that wasn't exactly the end of Bianca's night, as Miss Money in the Bank, Cora Jade, would look to cash in here on SmackDown, and she would attack Bianca from behind with the briefcase. And after a battle like Bianca just had with Asuka, you would think that this would be a prime opportunity for Cora. Cora would climb up to the top rope, and then at the last second, jump down and then immediately get hit with a spear. Bianca would send Cora into the ring post, and then that would do it as Bianca Belair picks up her second victory of the night. Cora with the unsuccessful cash-in. And then in our main event, it was the Usos taking on the Street Profits. The Usos, we saw on Raw, calling out the WWE Tag Team Champions Imperium, looking to make their case to be the team to challenge Imperium at WrestleMania. In this one, we saw two teams with a lot of tag title reigns between them meeting up in this one. The Usos would be the ones to eventually get the victory, but we would end SmackDown kind of on a little bit of a cliffhanger, as Jimmy and Jay would find themselves on the receiving end of a sneak attack, a beatdown from the debuting Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, their cousins. We don't really know what the significance of this is and why Tama and Tonga attacked them here, but I'm sure we'll find out in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.